I don't normally like to attend school trainings because they tend to be repetitive and they're usually outside of our contract hours, and we don't get paid for those. But this professional development was focused on creating an inclusive and welcoming learning environment for students, which is something that I was really interested in. So there I was, giving up my Saturday morning and sitting in a conference room with about 8 other educators who also saw the value in this. The lovely training leader passed out our warm up, and the first 4 words on the paper read, "How are the children?" As I continued to read, I learned about the Maasai tribe in Africa. No tribe was considered to have warriors more fearless and intelligent than the mighty Maasai. It was surprising and heartwarming to learn that the traditional greeting amongst the warriors, a greeting that has stood the test of time and is still commonly used amongst them today, involves asking the question, "How are the children?" To which others respond, "All the children are well. All the children are well." Even the warriors with no children assumed their responsibility to uphold the priorities of protecting the young and the powerless. All the children are well. This meant, of course, that peace and safety prevailed. The priorities of protecting the young and the powerless are in place, that the Maasai people had not forgotten their reason for being, their proper function, and their responsibilities. I sat there and I was falling into a rabbit hole of reflection and asking myself that question. At the time, I was in the middle of my second year as a science teacher, and honestly, my sentiments towards the job had begun to change. I started my teaching career like most teachers do, with a passion for change, or if you watch Abbott Elementary, you might understand it as Janine energy. I had a fire inside of me and I really wanted to make a difference in the lives of the children. But slowly, the fire began to dim. Not because of the students or my coworkers, but because of the things outside of the classroom that were out of my control. Things like the Wi-Fi not working, or because the district was on the news because of parent protests about things that have very little to do with what's actually happening in our classrooms. This reading brought me back to the purpose of my work, and I honestly think it's a question that we should be asking every day, not just teachers, but everybody. I wonder what it would be like if every adult amongst us, parents and not parents alike, felt the equal weight of the responsibility for the daily care and protection of all children in our town, in our state, and in our country. I wonder whether we could truly, honestly say, without hesitation, yes, all the children are well. I believe every presidential conference should begin with the president answering that question, how are the children? Wouldn't it be interesting to hear an honest answer? What if we began every school board meeting with that question and required our leaders to back up their answers? What if we required that honesty of our governor? Wouldn't it be interesting to hear their answers? It's important to remember that the children of today will be the adults of tomorrow. Many of the issues that we see in the news, whether it be crime rates, mental health struggles, or the systemic injustices, could be better and more efficiently addressed if we focus on building better individuals from a young age, rather than spending millions on policing them as adults. So I invite you to ask this question with me. How are the children? In this limited series podcast, I will be taking my experiences as a public school educator in Texas and confronting some uncomfortable truths and strive to create a better, more equitable future for our children. We will be exploring social issues through a lens that is focused on the most vulnerable, the children. Because their well-being is not just a reflection of our society, it's a moral imperative and a glimpse into our collective future. I hope you'll join us.